What's going on, guys? So today we're going to go ahead and review the Mobile Suit Gundam Thunderbolt FA-78 Full Armor Gundam Thunderbolt version. I guess the reason why they have to do the Gundam Thunderbolt version is because there was already like a full armor Gundam before, a weird green and tan thing. So I guess that was another FA-78. And of course, we already did the unboxing for this, and it's really cool. I love this box art. The old school box art was actually pretty neat. I actually dug the manga version, but this new anime version is really neat. I love the fact you can see the whole, I guess, the Thunderbolt region in the background there. You get some of the galaxy stars and of course the lightning that is always happening. And you get all the floating debris of the colony that used to be there. It's just really cool. I love the image of the actual full armor Gundam there. You got the great giant beam cannons here on the arm. Of course, I guess rocket launchers here and down here. Mind you, I've said this before, I have not finished watching Thunderbolt yet. I've only seen the first 2 or 3 episodes. I saw right up until the Psycho Zaku gets activated for the first time. I guess where the guy, pardon me for forgetting the names. I know this guy's EO or Yo, either way. But it is what it is, guys. But we got all this. This is cool. And of course, you get the HG Thunderbolt emblem here. Bandai down here. Thunderbolt logo here. Bandai 2016. All the fun stuff along the bottom here. So we turn this way. And we get a little image here. Probably not actually from the anime. It does actually look like it's just a cool shot there of it in some kind of action pose. Not too unlike the actual cover part, but here. That's a pretty cool little read up down here. And of course, you get the obligatory rear and front shot there. A really, really cool one. And of course, they don't do all of the extra stickers whenever they do this, but it's pretty neat. And then you get here advertisement here for the actual anime, HG Thunderbolt Gundam. Yay for that. Turn here. Of course, we get the repeat of the top box art, BandaiHobby.net. And all of this good stuff here. Rotate around here, and we get all the detailed up-close photos. So you got the headshot here. It actually reminds me a little bit of the Hainu in the design. I know it's closer to the RX-78, but it looks a little Hainu-ish there with all the extra white. So you get that. This is probably detailed sticker, if I had to guess. You get the cool action pose there. Shields galore everywhere. You get more shields. Shields can do things. And you get a booster pack on the backpack, can do boostery things. Feet. I don't know why it's bothering me showing the bottom of the feet, but it is. And then, of course, we get all of this stuff here, full read-up. And then the exploded version of everything laying there. That's pretty cool. The only thing that sucks is the HD version, unlike the MG, you can't take off the excess armor pieces and reveal just the basic Gundam underneath. But it's okay. It's still pretty cool. And come over here, and we get the obligatory warning. Probably don't stick things in your child's face. Probably 15 years old and up. Little man on the toilet. It's about 2,700 yen, $30 thereabouts. And the illustration by Morishita Naochika, which is, of course, one of my favorite artists for the Gundam box art. Even in Thunderbolt, it can't help but be upside down, guys. It's terrible, isn't it? Oh well. So let's go ahead and get to building this guy. guys, now that we got that build done, and wow, was that a heck of a build. There is so much to this guy. It took me quite a while. I remember when I did the Gym Thunderbolt, which of course is similar in a lot of aspects. That took me maybe about, a few hours, even with the extra paint and sticker detail. This guy, this thing took me the better part of a day, easily, I didn't even record the entire build because it was becoming so tedious there for a while. Just doing small things. You'll even see, like, whenever I get to doing painting sections, that it's pretty ridiculous. Now, one cool thing about this, it does come with a stand. However, you guys can see, it's a very weird and small stand. I'm kind of glad they don't kind of include this for everything else, but I get why they did. If it was on one of the normal little black stands that they come with, odds are it would fall over from the sheer weight of this thing. Because, as you can tell, there's a lot hanging off this guy. Just, there's so friggin' much going on here. Now I'm going to go ahead and take him off the stand, which does, of course, just plug into his crotch. His crotch got a good size crotch peg. Sounds weird, but some of them, they're not quite big enough and it gets loose. And it does just peg in just like that, just 3 parts. Whoop-de-doo. Now, I've heard a lot of hate. I'm just going to get this out of the way. I've heard a lot of hate for the Master Grade. I actually really enjoyed this build, even though it was a ton of work. I think just the amount of work that goes into this is fun. And mind you, if I didn't take the excess steps that I did with the painting and stuff, it would have taken much less time, but it would be a much less good product. It just wouldn't be as good. But there's a lot going on here. You guys can see there are tons of these great warning stickers and markings. So you get the Federation logo, same thing there. Of course, you get the great sticker there for the eyeballs. And he does have yellow eyes, which I think is really cool. You do get the great camera sticker there, front and back, just for the fun of it. This is, of course, the really dumb little crotch V sticker. I really don't like those. This one's a little interesting because it's actually semi-see-through. It actually gets some of its final color because it's on a blue background. And that's a little bit neat. I do like that fact. Of course, come down here to the legs. You get all kinds of fun stuff going on. You do, of course, get the vinyl-looking joints that you did with all the other Thunderbolts. And I know that this is the part that everybody hates about the Master Grades, the vinyl covering. Mind you, this is a really cool look, but I almost would prefer, even on this level, if the vinyl covering was the deal. I understand why it's a pain. I totally get it. But I actually think it would be a fun detail. But as you can see on mine, I actually darkened it. It should be a much lighter gray. But adding the weathering in there, because it should be nearly black, if nothing else, it's dirty. So I did that for all of the joints, all the exposed frame parts, even under there, on the feet, all that good stuff. So this was a fun kit. Like I said, it just took a while. And you can see it has a buttload of accessories. And yes, I actually looked up how much a buttload is, but we're not going to get into that right now. Now, one thing that would suck about this, and I've already talked about the stickers, every single thruster on this guy, all these, every single, all these back here, every one of those comes with a foil sticker. They're red with the black interior for inside the booster. Honestly think those would have been much bigger pain than just painting it. So I did. You can see right in here, all that is nice and painted. Now, when it comes down to these leg thrusters, those would have been some really crappy wraparound stickers. And you can see my paint job isn't perfect, but it's really decent. Same thing with all of these little guys. They were all little wraparound stickers. Went ahead and painted all of those. And I'm happy with the results. I mean, yeah, they're a little sloppy, but, I'm learning to do small details effectively. Learning to paint with Gundam markers more effectively. Now, some of the stickers I wasn't going to get around using is these white stickers all here around all of the waist armor. That all has to be there just to give that white bit, and I don't care because it doesn't really, it doesn't stand out that it's obviously a sticker. It just helps the look. It's kind of like all these other ones. I can appreciate that. Now, I took a few liberties, like painting in these little areas. Totally didn't need to do that. It's not even a thing that should be done. I just did it for fun. Come down to the bottom of the feet. I painted a darkened area there. I didn't realize that the entire bottom part of the foot should have been It's a dark gray, but because these are nice thrusters, got a little silver and some gold just for fun. Of course, the weapons, a lot of custom paint going on here. They don't even give you stickers to properly make this happen. It should be more like a metallic orange. I just went ahead and used my really good gold Gundam marker, and look how beautiful that is, to be perfectly honest. And of course you get some silver paint there just for fun. But this should all be the same light, really boring gray, so I added much different. This, of course, is my favorite dark gray ever that I have now in jars. This is Xeon gray, which, it is what it is. And that Gundam marker is a little thin. I shook it up really well, and it's still not that great. And I just realized that I missed a couple spots there with some silver paint, but that's okay. Same thing over here, which I'm guessing these are missile pods. If I had to totally guess, all of these bands right here. Hold on, I have the sticker sheet. Let me just show you. These right here are all these bands. This, I think, looks way better than the sticker sheet would have. Nothing wrong with using it. If you're not up to snuff on painting, no shame in using the stickers. Seriously, just do it if you got to. But if you have the option, paint it. I went with the lightest gray I had, which was this Xeon gray, which in this case actually doesn't look bad. Maybe I should have mixed in a little bit of silver just for fun. Even things here, you see it didn't settle quite right. That's where that marker is just not quite mixed very well. I really do dig this. Now if it comes to the backpack, that's where we run into some issues. Much like the Gym Thunderbolt, this whole center section is supposed to be that dark gray, but it comes in white. Now I painted it all with my favorite dark gray ever, just so I could put that EFSF sticker on there. And of course it goes all the way around. Now it looks pretty decent, not gonna lie. Even actually not having it perfect helps. But man, that was a lot of work. And then of course all these all had to be painted. Actually, you know what? These might not need to have been, but I did it anyways, because might as well make all of the thrusters match, right? So I really love how this thing came out. Man, it's a lot of work. And even these little stripes here on the back of the elbows, went ahead and painted those just because. And then, yes, there's more. And then the gun up here is supposed to have that same color gray stickers to cover those areas, which honestly is not a very different gray from what it currently is. So I just added that same Xeon gray, and I kind of like the results. It adds a little bit of darkness to it. It's got a weird, almost greenish tint to it, but I'm okay with it. Also added a tiny bit of metallic red inside there. Oh, one other thing. These things here were also supposed to be stickers. Went ahead and painted those. You can see back there on those ammo cartridges, there's some silver and some dark gray as well, just for fun, just because I thought they needed it. Now what I'm going to do is strip this guy down off camera and show off the articulation. So we'll be right back. Alright guys, so I have my own version of the exploded view going on here. So I just stripped off everything I had on him so we can go ahead and take a look at what all he can do. So, mind you, it is still a really good version of the RX-78. I guess it's the FA-78, but either way. So you can get the head to go all the way around. It's a slightly different polycap setup. I mean, just slightly. You do get a little bit of turkey neck going on there. Yeah. He can look down that far, and he can look up that far. That's not very far. But either way, go to the arms. You do get a forward swivel. A nice little shrug like that. But there is a little armor piece there that hinders it just slightly, but not bad enough to really make a difference. You do get some flip-flop on the shoulder armor, as usual. You can go all the way around with no backpack on there. And you can also, because of the way these shoulders are engineered, get a really decent kind of high teacher going on. Hi. It is a very stiff joint, so I'm being careful. I don't want to break nothing. You do get bicep swivel, or rotation, either way. All the way around. Really good. Double jointed elbow? Yeah, double jointed. So it's not a full double joint because you go in here and you get one down here. But it is a double jointed elbow nonetheless. You're not going to get a full 180 out of it, but it's still pretty good. You do get same ball jointed wrist as virtually any HG. Now I did paint that wrist joint right in there. And you can see all the way in through the bottom of the hand. Just because it would look weird if that was all white going straight in there when all other frames on here are gray, you know? Now, one thing is, it does get a tiny bit of, like, reverse articulation like that. It's pretty cool. I like that the elbow pad there moves with the armor. That actually looks neat. I like that. Let's see here. Do we get any ab crunch? Probably not. Nope. Very solid kind of chest because of this extra, all this extra chest armor right here in the middle. You can rotate. Yeah, you can go all the way around. It's a little tight. You can hear it's squeaky. I like that. It's actually a really good, tight center waist joint. I like that. All of your skirts get articulation, but of course I did cut the front. Guys, always cut your front skirts. Just separate those ball joints. It makes everything better. You do get the old school kind of little ball peg poly cap joint there on the sides. You get no movement in the butt. The butt doesn't go anywhere. There's no butt movement. Alright, so let's see what we can do for Jean-Claude. He's got some decent legs, but I feel like that hip armor is going to kind of hinder it. No, actually, he can do a really good Jean-Claude. Look at that. Very good split. Come down here. Of course, you get pretty much basic HG legs. You can go all the way around at the thigh. Really great double jointed knees, but because of the armor, gets a little bit limited right there. What just fell off? See? Now I feel like because that fell off though once, it's going to always fall off. You can see here how that sticker wraps around. Yeah, it looks like crap on the backside, but that's not the part that matters, right? Okay, so we got that. Oh, I didn't show off front. So you can do really good. You can go straight out front like that. Get that out of the way. Ankle joint is actually kind of limited. It's just ball joint up here and a ball joint down at the bottom. You barely get any articulation down there at the ankle, but you get a good upper ankle, technically. Now, I do wish this foot skirt would move. It is totally separate from the rest of the foot, but it's not on a rotation. It's pinned in there pretty good. And no kind of toe point, because these are very solid feet. Man, this thing is cool. I like it even in this mode. Oh, I forgot to point this out. On these extra antennas up here, I did add some silver paint, as you can see. And then the tips of the antenna is kind of red. You guys sort of know that's kind of my thing. I like doing it. I really do. This thing is it's a really cool Gundam. I'm not gonna knock it. Now, one thing I'm gonna do just real quick is show it off with the gym, because realistically, the gym is beefy. Like if you look at it, the head is significantly larger. At least it looks like it is than the Gundam. In fact, if I had to guess, it's almost the same height as a Gundam. I would have thought a gym would be a lot smaller, just personally. I mean, don't get me wrong, love this kit. This kit is really cool too. You can see the chest is very similar right there with a similar chest vents. Of course, the rest of the torso, it's vaguely similar. And from there on, the similarities really are kind of all over the place. The legs, the thighs are virtually identical. The calves are very different, mind you. Armor thruster-wise, this guy's going to be way faster. This can move around a little bit with all these little bitty thrusters on his shoulders. This guy's got big, beefy thrusters. But either way, this is a significantly heavy kit, too. And, very similar weaponry with this beam cannon here. It's like the little baby brother version of that. And, of course, the backpack. I'll get to that in a second. This one has all the center-mounted thrusters and stuff like that. That one has the really long booster tanks and tons of multi-directional thrusters. And, of course, the ammo clip up here is much different. Shields, pretty much the same, but those are Gundam-sized. These are gym-sized. Either way, cool kit. Also a cool kit. Though, just in hand, this is definitely lighter, even as itself, than this. So, we'll go ahead and set this guy off to the side. And put the Gundam back here since he's kind of done. Now, one thing about those limited feet, he can't do a very wide spread on his legs. He just can't. Now, he does come with some extra accessories. Some. But we're not going to talk about. These are ones that are always on him. Let's talk about other things. You do get cool beam saber. Or two. Now, this one I actually went ahead and put in the handle. I didn't detail this handle very much for the most part because they live back here on the backpack. So this one would go right here. The other one is pegged in right there. I actually like that. Is a very, very good storage option. So we'll take a look at the backpack here in a second. But I'm knocking stuff over, guys. You get the beam saber. It actually does have the cutout right there, so you can actually, you know, well, I was going to say you could hold it, but I guess not in this hand. If it was a trigger hand, you could probably hold it. No, trigger hand works the opposite way. It's a peg. Now, actually, it's funny. His hand is separating with it in there. And I don't know if that's supposed to be curved or it just got warped. But, you know, he can hold the beam sabers. Mind you, he has two sets of hands. He has trigger hands, which are on the weapons now, and he has these normal closed hands like this. So, I do like it. It's pretty cool. You could get some dynamic poses, except for the fact he's not really holding on to it. So, you could do some cool stuff with it, as usual. Ah! Broke his hand off. That is, of course, always a problem with just these standard ball joint hands. So, now he's going to rip you a new one. It's cool. Alright. Now, you guys all know, it does have the extendy holding arms. But it does, in fact, come with little folded up arms. These are pretty neat. I like the fact that they even give you the little stickers there to cover it. That's pretty cool. It does come with two of them. And as usual, you just unplug from the backpack. Whoops, come back here. Plug that back in. It's kind of hard to see because that poly cap is like way up in there. And actually, it just rotated out of my way. Like badly. Come on, rotate back. There it goes. Okay. So now you've got the folded up hands in there. So you get one extended arm, one not extended arm. Yay. Oh, I didn't point this out. I did paint inside there on the track just because. Set that to back again. Now it does come with alternate shield mounts. It does come with two of them. I can't figure out where the other one went. Really can't. I've looked everywhere. And half the time, these shields that plug into those arms have these. So I'm going to go ahead and unplug this just for now to show this off. So you can plug that in like no big deal. And he does just have this peg right here, which just very easily plugs into the forearm. I want to say like so, but now it's being a butt. Why are you not wanting to go on? Come on. There's a slot right there. Okay. So now you can totally just normal shield mount this guy. Like I said, it comes with two. So if you don't want to use the weapon mounts, you don't have to. You can totally use just the straight shield mounts if you have both of them. Because clearly I lost the one on. I've looked everywhere around the box where I was building. I can't find it. So this would be like your basic stripped down Gundam. It's actually pretty neat. Not gonna lie, that's pretty cool setup there. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and pull that back off for now. And there went that stupid side skirt again. Of course, it's the opposite side skirt this time, because of course it is. Now, I did actually panel line inside there. Just painted the butt. It just is what it is. Mind you, these giant stickers right here, also a pain in the butt. Now, there's another option. They give you a totally clear EFSF sticker. If you wanted to paint this, they give you a clear sticker. You can see this one in particular. I cut out just the Earth Federation Space Forces, stuck it on crooked, and honestly it pisses me off, but that's why it's one of the back shields, so nobody will notice. Except I just pointed it out to you. I have failed. Okay. So let's go ahead and look at the rest of the weaponry. So shields are shields. Yay. You get plenty of shields. So I gotta make sure I can see everything I'm working with here. This is the cool, like, twin beam cannon. I know I'm gonna get corrected on exactly what it's called, but I'm calling it a twin beam cannon. This thing is really awesome. I love this. Like I said, it's very similar in design to the one that the gym has, but of course just more. In fact, most of this whole trigger mechanism is very similar to the one that's there for like the rocket pods. But I do like this. You can actually plug this directly onto the arm, although I don't know why you would. You kind of need the trigger setup. But it also has this whole extra shield setup here, and of course this is for plugging the shield into whenever you put it on his arm. So that's pretty cool. Now I'll go ahead and look at the trigger mechanism since we sort of saw it earlier. Yeah, I got a little sloppy with some of the paint. Honestly, don't care that much. I think it looks a little bit better than it would have just straight this light gray color. And of course, here's the trigger fingers that you get. Trigger hands, whatever. Now, one thing that does suck is this doesn't come ambidextrous, so you can't use either or both weapons on both sides. You can only use one weapon per side. Now, this whole shielding mechanism, all this plugs in right here on this tab into that nice little polycapped hole. You can even see it's got a ridge there now. So whenever it's plugged onto the arm, it's like this. That's pretty cool. I like it. Actually, this gold turned out really well. I love that gold marker. Now let's go ahead and start building this guy up a little bit. Go ahead and remove this. Now, the cool thing is you just unplug the hand. Just plug this hand back in. It does just, the gun mount just slides up and over the forearm. It doesn't have to peg into anything. Now, this tab right there goes, of course, into the forearm. There's no polycap or anything. It just fits in there. The other polycap totally holds it in place. So now you've got this great big weapon. Stay. Now you come over here, pull off that shield just for fun. So you get what I'm guessing are rockets. Just guessing there. And of course you can see how I did the bands there. Even doing the rivets in some silver. Once again, slightly sloppy, but only on the side that doesn't count. You do get a basic trigger mechanism for that. Once again, some of the paint is sloppy, some of it's actually pretty decent. Honestly, don't care. This was like hour 15. It's like I stopped caring. It's like I want it done. One problem is these hands, even though these weapons have pegs to go into the palm, they have a hard time kind of staying together. You can see that trigger finger was kind of coming apart pretty easily there. Go ahead and pull that off. Now this one is a bit trickier because you do have the peg there and the, of course, thing that goes in here. So you can flex it just a little bit and then plug it in. You can see there I added some different gray and fun stuff there. Yay for that. Now he's just got some weapons. He's some armored Gundam. Partially armored Gundam. That's funny. Okay. Once again. Oh, wait, you know what? I keep forgetting to put this back on. See, there's a reason I chose to do the high grade, not the master grade. It's surprisingly less work. Okay. Stay. Now for the big accessory for this guy. It is this ridiculous thruster pack, which is very like 60s, 70s astronaut. That's what they were going for, and they nailed it. Nailed it, guys. Now, mind you, once again, this is where all of those thruster stickers had to go. And I painted as much as I could, and I detailed it as good as I could and tried to clean it up. It's not the best job in the world. It's a 5-footer, you know. You look at it 5 feet, looks perfect. See, look, that far away? Looks perfect, doesn't it? Exactly. So, you guys can see I did a little bit of a wash on it to try to bring out the wrinkles, and then where any of the seams are, it's a little bit dirty. And mind you, the long thruster pods here are actually clean. Because, now they do just peg right up in there. Now, one thing I will suggest with these things, these little thrusters everywhere, it's not the tightest fit in the world. I actually used a little bit of thin cement to glue all of those in place when I was ready. Now, I could have seam lined this entire thing. Didn't care that much. Really didn't. But here you can see how I had to paint all that, but it looks really good anyways. So, I like it. So, you get all these big thrusters kind of in every imaginable direction. So, this thing was incredibly mobile. I remember at least the first time it hit the battlefield and just absolutely owned everything. Okay, let's see here. By the way, those beam effects really stick in there. So I'll go ahead and put this back in here, and you can see, just clip it right back in there. No harm, no foul, and it just blends right in. Now, of course, the backpack itself has a couple weapons. You have this other very large beam cannon. I like it. I like the warning stickers on it. I like the blue extra armor on it. What I don't like is the fact that it only has this up and down mount. There's no way to turn it. Like, I wish they had just made one more piece, plugged in there, and it could rotate. Now, somebody needs to tell me, in the series, did it rotate separately? Because to me, it seems like that would be a weapon you'd want to be able to point in any direction, not just forward with a little up and down. I could be wrong. Then, of course, you get what I assume is missile pods. 6 forward, 6 rear. I did add some extra gray paint. It might be a little hard to pick up on camera, but you can see it right there. Just to differentiate the doors from the rest of the black. Just like I added a little bit of gray right there underneath that caution sticker. And of course some silver paint there. And it has the exact same rotation there. Now you do get the arm joints, which are right through here. Can't go all the way back. We can go back about that far. This is, of course, the extended arm, which how all of that folds into here, no clue. Magic. Now, like, you get the exposed joints. I did just shade it a little bit with some panel line marker. I wasn't going to go with a full paint job on it. It wasn't really worth it. Now, it sucks that they cheaped out and made it hollow, but it's a high grade. What do you expect? And here, of course, is where it plugs into the back. That's why who cares about details. I'm going to go ahead and remove the unfolded arm, put the folded arm back in. Now, it does actually have a little rotation joint right there that you have to be wary of so you don't lose your connection. And I did just, every time trying to plug that in, it just wants to rotate out of the way instead of just plugging in like a good mechanical arm would. And now it's a weird reaching floating thing. It's kind of like a ball without the cockpit exposed. Backpack attack. Backpack. Anyways. So let's go ahead and put this guy back on. He does just connect with these 2 pegs, and that little stub go into the little not smiley face. The little Cyberman face. Now you gotta find the right part to push on because you don't want to break something off. That is a very, very snug fit. I mean, you ain't coming off. That is a very, very good connection. I like that and I appreciate that a lot. A lot. Okay, you're gonna stand on your own, prove that you can. There you go. Let's see the master grade do that. Okay, so I gotta get all the shields together here. So you do get the other shields. You do get the other mount. And it just plugs into the hand like so. Now, if I had to guess, he doesn't always carry all 4 shields into battle because when it's folded up, you're not carrying the shields and they don't mount anywhere. So he doesn't always have full shield mode going, which I can appreciate because, man, it's a pain. More shields. Onto the forearm weaponry. Now he is fully armored up, and now I'm going to just he's definitely full armor Gundam. I think he might actually give full armor Unicorn a run for its money, because that's only a few extra weapon pods on that. Although this guy gets away with not having a single extra rocket launcher. That's my takeaway. He doesn't have rocket launchers. Yes, he has some missile pods. I don't care. He doesn't carry extra missile pods or extra things like the Psycho Zaku, which I will be getting to not next, but soon enough. Now he can do fun poses because these arms do rotate. You can get that really weird pose where he's got the shields in front of his face. Once again, don't know why you would do this, but you can. Maybe it's for re-entering atmospheres, which he doesn't do because it's entirely space-based. Now you do run into some problems with those not cooperating. They're just not going to cooperate. There we go. So he's got the don't look at me. Don't look at me. So he can do basically what the Jim could do before. I hope I didn't break that. I may have broken that. Because that now rotates much more freely than it used to. So that might have some damage. So I'm going to go ahead and rotate the arms back the other way. Make my life feel more complete. There we go. There's a lot of different ways you can display this guy. Just however you choose to do it. It's your model. Display it how you want. If anybody tells you otherwise, well, just keep displaying your model however you want. Alright, so let's set the full armor back here. He's doing a really good job of balancing. And we'll bring out the full armor Jim. I'm just going to call it the full armor Jim. There we go. So obviously the connection for the arms is very similar, but just slightly different. Just in how the shields are mounted and how the arms are hung Yeah. So it can still do this number for whatever reason. Just like its Big Daddy here. These came first, then this came and changed everything. Alright guys, that's it. That was a long review. There's so much in this guy. I definitely recommend it, but if you hate stickers, well, I'm sorry. They're everywhere. This guy will look very, very plain without them, so he needs them. I say that about all the Thunderbolt kits. Use the stickers. It completes the look. It makes it better. So do it. So go get this guy. Spend a lot of time putting him together, and just be happy that you have more Thunderbolt in your life. So that's it for this review, guys. Go ahead and check out the other Thunderbolt playlist. It's pretty short. It's just this guy and the big gun. And any other things you want to view that's out there, go ahead. There's plenty of stuff to look at between the Shoky quickies and all my other stuff. But I will catch you guys on the next review. And remember, as always, keep on building.